cameras. Okay, there we go. And good morning, everybody. My name is Osa. We are playing Farming Simulator 22 on Maypole Farm. It is 3 o'clock in the afternoon on July 2, and I am continuing with our harvesting contracts. Go. So when we finished last week, we were just completing a contract and it started raining almost immediately. So I've taken the time to run the equipment down to this field of barley. We have, I believe, 3 more fields to harvest. Unfortunately, because of the way the first barley contract delivered, we do not have a completed contract. It basically credited the barley to an alternate contract, so we have a field to harvest and a field that has completed harvest but hasn't been delivered yet. So make of that what you will. This is going to be a fun little field to run around. So potentially we will eventually complete delivering all of this field. No, hang on. We'll complete delivery on the field we've completed harvesting, and we will start balancing out the contract so I can start claiming some money. Since it was raining for the beginning of this afternoon, I have already done my perishable sales for the month of July, so we did that a day early. It's not a big deal, but it does mean that we don't have to sell them tomorrow, and we have to sell once per calendar month. So we sold early, we've got a little bit of money in the bank. And things are going well, I think. And our cows still aren't producing milk, so again, not sure if that's a bug, mod conflict, or if the game's completely screwed up on us. But for now, I'm going to assume we're not going to get any milk until we get cow babies. So our cows are costing us a lot in food. The dairy, as we've noted, is got about 2.5 years worth of milk in it. So I'm only really losing out on milk income. We're selling lots of butter every month, so the result is that well, we actually made it round the bottom of this field. That's kind of cool. Yes, so sorry, we're selling our production rate of butter every month, and if I was producing milk from the cows, what we would be doing would be selling that milk until we reduce the capacity or the volume stored at the dairy, and can actually keep up dairy production with the supply. It's kind of similar with the flour. Now I just last month we upgraded the bakery to double production. So we do need to get about 100,000 litres of flour for the coming year to the bakery. I think I've transferred 13,000 so far. So that's about 3 months worth. And we've got a ton of barley in the bakery at the moment. So no big worries about not having sufficient flour for the next few months. But I do want to get to the point where we have enough for the year. Last year we had more than enough, and we sold somewhere between 0 and 50,000 litres of flour last year. Just straight sold it, not processed into bread. So I'm kind of looking at that and saying, well, we should, if we push it, we should be able to produce as much this year. And then we won't have to sell the flour. We can get the benefit of having all the flour processed into bread and make more money from it. So that's at least the plan for this year. Did that work? Click that and press it. There we go. Okay. So again, this is barley, so the potential we have with the barley harvest this year, or the barley contracts that we're doing, is they're all delivering, I believe, to the farmer's market. So we're going to drop it all off at the farmer's market until we've completed delivery on all 3 contracts. Then we can ship all of the rest to the flour mill, and it will go towards flour production for the bakery. The rest of the farm is sitting pretty. Reason I did the deliveries is so that we can skip July 3, move straight into August. We're going to have some fields to plant, primarily the barley fields, so that they're ready for whole cropping next year, early next year. We should by about midday or shortly after have the whole crop that is currently sitting wrapped in bales fermented. We can drop that off at our cow shed and get with prepping those fields too. Unfortunately, our harvester is getting to the point where it should be serviced, but I could bring the field service trailer out. I did notice, I think I was talking last week about the more damaged a vehicle gets, the more expensive per percent it costs to fix. So it's not like, oh, it's $5 per 1% that you're fixing. It's 5 at 70%, but it's 6 at 50% and 9 at 40%. Yeah, so the amount that it costs you per percent goes up. But I did notice on the condition information, bottom left, almost middle of the screen, next to the fill level, it shows white until it hits 70%. At 70% it turns yellow. So I am making maybe an erroneous assumption that that's the break-even point that you want to be fixing your equipment basically at, or when it turns yellow. And there's not much to save it before that point. Okay, we can get 3 loads in this. Not quite. So technically we're down to 68%. I should fix the harvester. And we did that. I want to close the pipe and off we go. Adjust the camera so I'm seeing on the left. So anyway, what else are we doing around the farm? Not a lot else we've got to do around the farm. Obviously it's now, next month is the beginning of planting season, and hopefully the soybeans will be ready and we can harvest those. That will then be all of the crop that we need to pull off our fields, and we can turn our attention to preparing the fields for planting almost straight away after that. I haven't decided if I'm going to have any spring crops going in. Typically we're really for spring just looking at sorghum, which we haven't grown yet on the farm, and soybeans. Everything else we're generally planting as early as we can in the fall, so that we get a July harvest. But we'll see how that progresses, I guess. Now, this is going to be interesting. How big is that box? I don't know. I suppose what I can do here is empty the harvester. Just grab that bit there that we missed. Empty the harvester before we do the top bit. That'll give me enough capacity to make it all the way round at least once. So, only piece of equipment for sale at the moment is the horse box, and we don't have a horse yard. I believe this map is loaded with animal husbandry, so you can't add any without deleting some or adding a mod that lets you increase the number that you're allowed. So if we want different animals, we can add pigs. We've got a pig pen, but we can't add anything else without buying a farmyard which has access to those animals. So I can't do sheep unless I buy a sheep farm yard. Okay, that can go, that can lift. We can race down here. I was undecided whether it was worth adding more contracts, but since we have a rule that we're only allowed to do contracts 1 day a month, I was thinking I might not get more contracts completed. As I said, we've only got 3 fields to do. We're most of the way through this one. 118. Scroll, that one there. 118 is 53% done. That's not even started. Let's turn details on. There we go. So that one is fully harvested, no deliveries. Delivered 0. 118 is already 8,000 delivered. and has 33 to go. This one is 39,600. This one is fully delivered. As soon as we've harvested that field, it's done. 118. We have delivered 8,000. So that's going to be done at the end of us harvesting this field. So there is not a lot of capacity left in that trailer. But that's okay. And as we saw, I think one trailer's about 30,700 something litres. So that is not going to complete this field contract delivery. We've already, as I said, we've already delivered 8,000. We've got 33 left to go, and that trailer hasn't got the capacity for 33. So we'll be a little bit short, but doing this bit up here will give us enough in the harvester to complete the contract. And then we'll be able to do the last contract, which I think was fully delivered, but hasn't. We haven't even harvested that field yet. So we get a little bit of credit for the field we've already harvested from this contract, possibly about 10,000-12,000 litres, I'm guessing. Ugh, go. There we go. And I'm not sure which is the next field in sequence that we're going to be visiting. Looks like probably 120 is the next field. That's the thing. We've kind of been all over the shop. Oh, hang on. No, we've probably done 120. I don't know. We'll figure it out. We have some fields to do, so we will do the some fields and get this all polished off. So last weekend we were looking at a fair amount of snow on the ground. It was melting by that point. And the weather report did say we should expect snow the last 2 days of March. That's now changed to we should expect rain all this week. So it is currently very wet outside, and it might even be raining. I haven't been outside to check, so it's hard to tell because of the screens in front of the windows. We'll chop across the top here. I'm going to guess I'm going to be full before I get back to the middle of the field. And depending, as we look at the fields, which is the next field that we're going to do, I will either obviously empty all of the barley from this field, and then we'll do the wheat field, or barley field might be the next closest, in which case we won't just finish all the things on this field, we'll transfer over and then empty. Still, we are not going to fill up the harvester. Well, so close. I should raise the header when I'm doing this. sucking up all those rocks is probably bad for it. Of course, this is my header. That said, it doesn't appear that rocks on a contract field damage my equipment overly. At least I don't think so. We'll turn this off. So 3,000 litres left in there. I'm not going to get round twice, so there we go. We will take this wherever it needs to be taken. And I don't recall, so we are taking this to the farmer's market. And as I said, we've got 8,000 delivered, we've got 33.8 to deliver, and there's 30,780. So that is not a full tank. Now, how do we get... Oh, I see. We are now heading west. So we're just at the north side of the pond. Shame I don't have field 17 to do, because that would be kind of handy. So, half term at school this week, the kids are up with grandparents. So, they're not coming over this weekend, so it's just teenage Osa and Mrs. Osa, and they're off out this morning, probably within the next 20 minutes. So that then leaves us alone till lunchtime. And then we have to go to Sam's after lunch. And that should be a gap. Oh, that's not a gap. I missed that the white car was coming, and stop. And that's the red car now. Oh, black car. Oh, the black car. We're out. Busy road. You people should be working. Alrighty. Good, we're not making money on this. It's a good way to know that you're delivering a contract and not accidentally selling stuff at the wrong place. If the money doesn't move, then you're in the right place. So how are we doing here? Are we not delivering 118? Oh look, we're delivering 133. That's just so much awesome. Well, that does mean that this one will be fully delivered. Actually, well, it might not be. But that's good. Because then we'll be able to claim this one as done. 16,000, and it looks like that's all delivered. So we need another 14,000 litres of stuff, barley. So I'm guessing that field will give us. So, Go Field packs come out. As I said, I think last week I was a little disappointed in what we got. We got a very basic small round baler that only does the smallest bales. We got a wrapping baler that I think does medium-sized bales, but it doesn't do big bales for when you don't want to wrap. The baler we have does small, medium and large bales, and obviously only wraps the small and mediums. There's the bale grabs. Problem with the round bale grab is that it only does small and medium bales. It won't stretch to large bales, which is kind of weird. I must admit I have not checked the medium baler that we have, or the in-game bale grab. I guess we'll check that in a minute. First things first, let's run over some deer. Yeah, deer. Field 17 is available as a contract. I might do it because it's kind of on the way places. I think. We'll see. I don't really have money to buy anything. The static balers are good. The field wrapper is kind of amusing, but again, it's limited in its capacity. Okay. Oh, we need to jump out and turn that on in order for that to work. So, what I wanted to do was check front loader tools. So that's a round bale handler, no specification in how big the bales it can manage. This one can only manage medium and smalls. This one can only manage small square bales. Whereas you run down to, say, this one, no specification.